Hello, my listeners. Today I will talk about warning signs of approaching death. I have to say that the role of a caregiver is crucial in these last days of life. It is important to recognize the symptoms indicating the last stages of life to provide our support, peace, comfort, and offering full compassion. Laughter is a topic that most people avoid, but it is a part of our lives. I have worked with patients who are dying, and I have seen recurring symptoms in these people as we approach the end of life. It is our body that sends certain signals, understanding which can provide us with readiness for the upcoming situation. It is important to remember that these symptoms can manifest themselves differently, depending on factors such as the disease they are fighting, the medications they are taking, and the general health of the patient. One of the symptoms in the last days of life is loss of appetite and thirst. We are not hungry at all and do not feel thirsty. We do not want to drink as if our body is already shutting off. This is because the body functions are slowly dying and we do not need a lot. Patients eat smaller portions, and sometimes they do not want to eat at all anymore because the need for eating and drinking is decreasing. Usually, patients are not interested in eating at all and refuse to eat or eat smaller amounts. These changes are often accompanied by weight loss and weakness. These are the signs that the body is actively dying. At such times, do not try to force something into the mouth of the patient because it will only make him feel worse. It is important to understand that loss of appetite is normal and does not necessarily mean that the person is suffering. So forcing the patient to eat against their will can be more harmful than helpful and lead to discomfort. Instead, you can focus on hydration and the general comfort of the person, for example, by giving small sips of their favorite drink or soft food, such as purees, soups, jellies, ice cream, or simply moistening the mouth with a damp cloth. The next symptom is difficulty swallowing. As the muscles weaken, swallowing becomes more difficult, which can lead to choking or aspiration. These fluctuations are common in the final stages of life and reflect the patient's deteriorating condition. Digestive problems also occur. There is also constipation or incontinence due to the slowing down of the body's systems, especially the digestive system. So it is necessary to ensure the comfort and readiness of this person for the process of dying. Another symptom is a decrease in energy. Increased fatigue and sleep in the last days of life. Patients usually feel deep fatigue, and they sleep a lot. Increased fatigue is saving energy for other processes in the body. Patients sleep a lot and take frequent naps, which is normal to save the remaining energy for other life processes. Fatigue is a common symptom at the end of life, which can affect both the body and the mind, making the last moments of life difficult for the person. Another symptom is withdrawal from life. As death approaches, many people naturally begin to withdraw from social interactions. Patients usually like to spend more time alone or seem not to be interested in conversation. This is a part of the dying process. We realize how painful this is for friends and family, but it is important to understand that it is not ignoring the relationship between them, but it is in the way that the dying person tries to preserve the energy needed for the relationship with the approaching end. People at the end of life often withdraw from their environment as they come to terms with the reality of their approaching death. A calm and supportive environment should be provided that helps maintain comfort. In the face of death, most people lose the ability to speak, and often as a person approaches death, they can no longer speak because the brain stops sending the signals needed to speak out. So there's a noticeable decrease in verbal communication. The nonverbal communication is very important, such as holding the patient's hand and eye contact becomes more important then. After losing the ability to speak, vision begins to fade. At first, vision becomes blurry, but many people only see a dim light. Soon after losing vision, the sense of touch also disappears. This means that the hands can no longer feel the hands of loved ones that are holding them, because the brain has stopped sending signals from the hand being held, and therefore the dying person has no feeling. The next symptom may be hallucinations and visions, and many dying people see something completely different than real-life images. This is a different experience for almost everyone, because some see their deceased loved ones who have long since passed away, and they talk to them and reach out to them. Hallucinations and visions of absent people usually occur in the process of dying and experience. These usually bring comfort to the dying person and are not disturbing to them at all. This is time when empathy and support should be shown to this person. It is important to approach the situation with compassion, patience, and respect for this person. Disorientation occurs quite quickly during dying process, and as a result, comes memory loss. These symptoms may result from reduced oxygen to the brain, and as a result of reduced metabolism. At the end of life, the brain's ability to process information is impaired, which leads to the person having difficulty understanding their surroundings. Recognizing familiar faces or remembering anything, periods of altered consciousness including lack of reaction or semi-consciousness are signs of approaching death, which indicate deteriorating body functions. The patient should then be given comfort and support. Then comes a persistent cough and difficulty breathing, which usually indicate fluid accumulation in the body. Changes in the breathing process, such as irregular breathing, can also occur as the body approaches the end of life. In addition, there is also swelling of the limbs, hands, feet, and ankles, because the circulatory system slows down and fluids accumulate in these areas, which is a common change in the physical condition of the feet at the end of life. The hands and feet become cold, indicating slowed circulation and often a sign of approaching death. The body then focuses on important organs, reducing blood flow to the extremities. There is also a reduced amount of urine excreted, and the urine turns darker, which can indicate kidney failure. The next symptom is changes in vital signs such as blood pressure, heart rate, and body temperature fluctuate significantly. These changes let us know that the body is preparing for death. As we approach the end of life, we start breathing rapidly, followed by a moment of complete apnea. The lack of breathing is distressing for caregivers, but it is part of our dying process. Changes in vital signs can occur in the last 48 hours of life, and as the body begins to shut down, body temperature and blood pressure drop and circulation slows down also. Another symptom is increased pain, which usually occurs as some diseases progress, which is why patients are given strong painkillers, although some patients go through this painlessly. However, increased pain is a common symptom of imminent death. Non-pharmacological interventions should also be used, such as adjustments to the patient's body position, oral and skin care, and so on, which will not only improve the quality of the last moments of life, but also its dignity. Delirium is another symptom of patients approaching the end of life, and almost all people experience it a few hours or days before death. It involves disruptions in attention, communication, and awareness, which can cause anxiety in caregivers. Delirium can come and go. Focus should be on medication and comfort. Some people may feel restless or agitated, fidget, moan, or try to get out of bed, so be careful. Changes in skin color, so-called bluish discoloration, especially in the extremities, can indicate poor circulation. These changes often occur in the latter stages of life as system's body begins to shut down. Peripheral cyanosis is a common symptom of the end of life caused by changes in temperature and circulation. Therefore, the patient should be provided with warmth to help control these symptoms. Hearing is the last sense to lose before death, which disappears at the very end, even if the person is so close to death that they can no longer eat, drink, speak, or touch. But patient can still hears you, so you should keep this in mind and not talk in front of the dying person about things that would cause them some emotional pain. Thank you very much for your attention. I am glad that you are with me, and I invite you to watch the next episodes on my channel. Please share this video and subscribe. Thank you.